Hey guys, this is a tutorial on how to use the program Photopea. Website is photopea.com. If you have taken VAT, you might recognize that this looks a lot like Photoshop. It even saves files in Photoshop files, like a PSD file. So my number one thing I want to tell you before you get started, do not press back when you're working. So this back arrow that you usually use to like go to another website, if you're working and you do something that you don't like and you're like, oh, just step back, do not go back there. You will leave the website and lose all your work. So what you would want to do is you would go edit, undo. So we're talking about double exposures, and you're going to have to open up two images and layer them on top of each other and play with the opacity for this. But the first thing that I want you guys to do when you open your photo is just mess around with some of the tools on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go File, Open. And I recently did a photo shoot of Mr. Whalen, and I'm going to use that photo. So there he is. Okay, so first thing I want to show you, and this is just like Photoshop, image, adjustments, there's all these things to play with. So I can go to hue, saturation, play with the color, okay, image adjustments, exposure. So you want to make your photo obviously the best that you can before you start editing it, or you start the next step. Make it black and white. A lot of these images, the examples that I showed you, the black and whites are super successful. So if you really like those and you want to do yours black and white, that's totally fine. Okay. When you're doing your photo shoot, for the double exposure, I would recommend a portrait. You do not have to use a portrait. I think they're really successful when you do, though. And the photo that you layer usually looks best if you choose something with a pattern or something more organic, like leaves or flowers, something like that. Okay, so now I have to get my other image. So I'm going to go File, Open, and Place, not just open, because we need to place it on top of this image. I was doing a drawing tutorial earlier today about wood, so I just happen to have this image of wood. And there it is. And I'm going to make it the size of the page and press Enter. Okay. So now you'll see I have two layers over on the right-hand side here. Here's the eyeball. Turn them on and off. The opacity will change how much you can see through the layer. You might not, so it would be unfortunate if this little knot landed on his eye, right? Like I wouldn't really want that to happen. So if you wanted to use the eraser tool, oops, right here, where is it? It's tiny. Oh, here's a little thing to change the size. Let's see how big that is. Oh, it says my object. Oh, there we go. I don't want it to erase all the way, just really lightly. So if you wanted to like lightly erase, should be able to do that, but oh yeah, it's working. It was just on such a low setting. So if you needed to do that, you can. You can also play around with the crop over here and other selection layers up here. One thing that I like to do, if you did not want to do the opacity thing, like if you wanted it to be, get out of here. If you wanted it to be, wait, you know what I'm going to do? Let's try step back. Edit, undo. Let's see how many times I can stick. Oh, Control Z. Great. You can also press Control Z. These layers right here, and these are also available in Photoshop. There's some really cool kind of like filters you can do with these. Okay, so now that I have it selected, I could just use the arrows on my keyboard to pick one that I like. I like that. When you're finished, you're going to go File, and you can save as a Photoshop document. That would mean next time you're in class, if you're not finished, you can reopen this and it would still be editable. Or you can export it as a JPEG. And you can choose the quality and save. If you are having problems with this program, especially with saving, most likely your download folder is full on your Chromebook. So if you go into your downloads, where's my downloads? Right here, I got a billion downloads. You can just Control A and delete all of those, and then hopefully it should work for you. So that's what we're going to be working on today. You can use your own photos. You can get some off the internet if you want to use a celebrity or whatever, and just play around with that. So if you have any questions, then just jump back into the breakout room and let me know, and I will help you.